What a night it was in Indianapolis, round number 4, as Mother Nature set the tone early. Snow falling outside Lucas Oil Stadium, but inside, the best in the world have converged. Todd Harris alongside 5-time AMA Supercross champion Ricky Carmichael. Wow, what a night. Let's start off with the 250s. I'm telling you what, came in with a very close race. Couldn't get any closer because the two teammates were tied with the red plate, and we left with one man standing.
Well, we did, and Colt Nichols, he's just really been impressive to me. He looks like he is firing on all cylinders. He got a great start when he needed to. I personally thought Christian Craig was going to get the whole shot. That didn't happen to be the case, and honestly, I didn't think anyone was on his level. I thought Christian Craig was going to keep him honest for the first couple laps, and Christian Craig, and pardon me, Colt Nichols just keeps pulling away, inching away, and you know that didn't sit well upstairs with Christian Craig. So heck of a ride. He's the only guy, Colt Nichols is the only guy to be on the podium all 4 races. He's got back-to-back wins. For me, I think if he can bag one more win, it's going to be like conservative mode at that. You go into protection mode because he has enough points to kind of ride it out to the end of the championship.
Colt Nichols certainly was the class of the field tonight right from the get-go. Gets the start that he wanted, and the Yamahas were out in front, as Ricky was pointed out. Look at that. Hard to miss with that Dayglow package. He's out on top of the Yamaha, but it was the 2 Yamahas, Rickies, that looked like they were going to check out from the rest of the field.
Well, it sure did, especially Colt Nichols, and you can tell the 29 of Christian Craig was trying to hold on, but look at this mistake by Jet Lawrence. He runs to the back of Thomas Doe. He's going to stall his bike.
And Jet Lawrence dropped back to 12th place, but that young man, the youngster out of Australia, continued to persevere, and he worked his way back up. And how about this pass? A 2-for-1.
Using Sales as a lapper, as a pick to get by Michael Mosiman. That's going to be right where he needed to be to make a late charge to get by Christian Craig. Christian Craig runs him too far, uses up all the track, and it takes them both down.
That was 2nd and 3rd with less than 200 yards to go as Colt Nichols takes the checkered flag and gets the win. So Colt Nichols now 8 points clear of Christian Craig. Remember, they came into tonight sharing the red plate. Jet Lawrence really limits his damage. He stays in 3rd. Joe Shimoda moving up to 4th, with Michael Mosiman rounding out the top 5. Wow, what a performance tonight in the 250 East class. It was amazing. Daniel, let's start with you. You were on the track. What was your takeaway, especially with the 2 Yamaha riders?
Well, what Ricky said, I thought that they were going to stay closer together in the beginning of that main event, and Colt just kind of just snuck away, you know, little by little by little, and then about halfway through, I think Christian settled in for 2nd, which, I mean, ultimately that cost him because Jet Lawrence rode the race, I mean, one of the best races I've ever seen, especially at the halfway point. He makes those mistakes, he hits the wall, whatever. That was an unbelievable ride from a 17-year-old phenom, just passing one after another. And I'm seeing Christian Craig up there at the end of the straightaway thinking he might actually get to him. And on the last lap, he made the move, tried to get him. And again, if you look on paper, you're going to see Jet Lawrence off the podium. It does not represent what we saw on the track tonight. Again, not a win, not a podium, but just an unbelievable, phenomenal ride from Jet Lawrence.
And Daniel, I'd like to add to that too, because not only was his on-track performance just very special there, what we saw, but I thought his attitude was incredible too. I mean, we have to remind ourselves, 17 years old, and only just really turned 17 years old as well. And he was clearly just distraught and upset. He realized the points that were lost. He was frustrated about what he wasn't able to achieve and what nearly was there in that race. And yet he did an interview with us. He composed himself. He thanked the fans. And I said to him, you know, thank you, Jet, for sort of talking to us. And he turned around and he said, well, that's part of the sport, isn't it? That's what I need to do. And he meant it. And so I was just very impressed by his whole demeanor, really, throughout the whole evening. And that leads me to believe, guys, that we're going to see, you know, we're going to see a comeback from Jet. We'll see him back up on the podium again. Yeah, he showed some serious maturity in that race, coming all the way back. Let's shift our attention now to the 450 class, and it was equally as exciting. There were so many storylines coming into this, Ricky. You talked about Zach Osborne, Eli Tomac needed a big one, Justin Barcia, and in the end, it really was Ken Roczen who showed that he has been the most consistent, dominant rider on track. Yeah, he has. He was 2-5-2 in Houston, and now he finally gets the win. And, I mean, he's just
perfect. You watch it, it's like he's hitting everything. He's so precise. He's not making hardly any mistakes. He did make one tonight. We'll get to that, but very, very impressive. I will go out and say I wasn't expecting that start from Eli Tomac. That's normally not his forte.
Yeah.
So I thought once he got into the lead, he was going to be gone, but he made a small mistake. And a guy like Eli Tomac, that probably was going to come back to haunt him. I think he was going to get the win if he hadn't made that mistake.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights in the 450 main event. To Ricky's point, Eli Tomac, keep your eye in the center of the screen, the number 1 on board the Kawasaki. Whoop, he is checking out and going, and this is where you think, okay, maybe this is his race. He's found his mojo again. The 2 Kawasaki's out in front. Justin Barcia showing some impatience here as he rides up on another rider and goes down.
Yeah, he gets into the back of, let's see, that was Joey Savatgy, and then he takes Malcolm Stewart down, kicks Malcolm Stewart's bike over. He gets back going, and it's going to be a rough night for Justin Barcia.
So Eli Tomac, here's the mistake he made, and this is going to cost him not 1, 2 positions.
Yeah, at that level, man, I mean, he was in a perfect position. You can't make those mistakes.
And this was a great ride by Ken Roczen. We talk about German precision, but right there, you know, you're thinking, what in the world? But came back on track, composed himself, got rattled for a moment, let Eli get by him, and then took it right back.
Look at that. He saw the door open up, and Eli even said he wasn't expecting that. And what a ride by Ken Roczen and Eli Tomac, both going for the win.
Checkered flag, Ken Roczen gets the win on board that Honda. So 4 races, 4 winners. Folks, that is the picture of parity. Barcia, Tomac, Webb, and Roczen. 4 rounds, 4 different winners, 4 different manufacturers. So we are so excited to look forward to Tuesday and next Saturday back here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Ricky, who's next? Who's going to step up next?
If I told you, I would certainly be guessing. I mean, could Adam Cianciarulo be the next guy? We're going to find out Tuesday.
No question about it. Will, let's talk about the 450s. You were down there in the mix. You saw it all. You saw the emotions playing out. What's your takeaway?
I'd like to draw attention to Zach Osborne, Todd, because, oh my goodness, it's just been non-stop for him, hasn't it? Here we are in round 4, and it's just the hits just keep on coming from him. And the results are not fair to what he's been doing out there. He's been fast. Today, we saw him last off the line. He had an incident there with the start gate, got caught up in it, and he still managed to get back to 5th. So you were saying there, Ricky, you know, who's going to be next? I thought maybe it was Osborne tonight. We see the start there. And it wasn't, but surely it has to be soon, you know? Sometime his luck has to turn around because he's putting in the performances, don't you think, Daniel?
I think so. I mean, the way he's riding, he's at the top of his game as far as the way he's operating his motorcycle. He just has all these little issues that just keep costing him. And Ricky made the point before we got to Indy. He is the best rider in the field to ever go 10-10-9, and even tonight's performance on paper doesn't match the way he rode. I'd like to switch over to Ken Roczen. Todd, you mentioned the composure that he had when he went off the track, and you got to remember, on Tuesday in Houston, the red flag, he jumps on it, loses the points. He was in a situation right there where he could have gotten in trouble again. He goes around the berm. He could have gassed it onto the start straight, took the lead, and I think they would have dinged him for that. So for him to kind of lighten up, look over, see Eli, let him have it. I mean, it's so hard in the moment for these guys to just let a guy by, but he knew it was the right thing to do. It was a smart decision, and then I like what he did. He immediately went back after him. Didn't want Eli to get comfortable, zapped him, got the lead, and that was it. So Ken Roczen, not only did he make good decisions on the bike and on the track and the way he rode, but I really liked the mental game tonight, the decisions that he made in those moments that mattered. Good job, Ken Roczen.
Will and Daniel, tremendous job down there. As we take a look at the points, Ken Roczen now 6 points clear of Cooper Webb. Eli Tomac now in 3rd, and Adam Cianciarulo in 4th place. All right, Ricky, we looked at Tuesday, and that's one of the nice things about this residency program. There's no time to sit back and do a lot of testing. You got to get right back into your program.
Yeah, that's right. It's a short turnaround, but you go to the 450 class, it is real. The emphasis is on getting good starts and not slipping, not making mistakes. It's so tight. So that's what these guys are going to do. They're going to go watch them make some adjustments, and bring it on Tuesday.
Tuesday night, we are back at Lucas Oil Stadium. Remember, you can watch it live on Peacock. That's coming up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Tuesday night. If you can't catch that, the re-air on NBCSN comes at 11 p.m. Eastern. So for Will Christien, Daniel Blair, and the GOAT, Ricky Carmichael, I'm Todd Harris saying good night from Indianapolis.
Hi, I am Will Christien, and thank you all so much for watching. I'm here to remind you to hit subscribe for all the latest Supercross news and highlights. And of course, don't forget to sign up for Peacock Premium. That is now the new home for streaming for all live Supercross events all season long.